Praise God. Introduce our speaker, our friend. I haven't known Emmanuel very long. You are an answer to our prayers. I call him my friend because he's a friend of Jesus. Because God brought me and we met at the Acceleration Conference. We actually had talked on Facebook several times. Didn't know that he was a member of Eagle Rock. He's a missionary to the United States from Pakistan. We've been praying for that. It's been prophesied over that others. America has been used to be poured out to the nations in missions. But now America is in such a flux that now God is using the nations to come to us. I believe he's part of that with his wife. Samara is a part of that. Last night we were at Hope City House of Prayer, a big citywide church. And sure enough, my friend was there. Before we knew it, he was up on the platform praying to be missionaries out into the harvest. I was like, God, you're doing something here. I just want to give you a little bit more about him. Pastor Emmanuel Doulat and his wife, Samara, they are evangelists and missionaries who were born and raised in Pakistan and now living in the United States of America, traveling around the world to preach the gospel. Pastor Emmanuel is the founder and chairman of an interdenominational Bible-based independent organization called God's Fellowship Ministries in Pakistan. This ministry focuses on planting churches, helping people in persecution, supporting numerous pastors, and distributing free Bibles, along with many goods, clothing, food, all around the world, to take the gospel to them. I'm not going to delay it anymore. Come on, brother.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. I'm so thankful to God today for this day and for this opportunity. I'm so thankful to Pastor Church. I'm so thankful to all of you. My testimony, I will try my best. Always the problem I have is the time. And I understand that. To this city, Columbus, Ohio. The number one thing, we didn't want to come. Me and my wife. The reason, we had no connection here. We didn't know any church, we didn't know any pastor in the whole area, not only Columbus, in the whole Ohio, we didn't know a single pastor. Only two people I knew. They both were students, one from Tanzania and the other was from Sudan. And me and my wife, we were looking home to, establish in Florida. One of my best friend, Pastor Usher, and we were the part of that church over there. God started showing me the dreams, go to Columbus, Ohio. I was trying my best to say no to God. Was trying to have different excuses. God, why not this way? Why not this way? And my wife became very sick. It's a long story. Because the problem she had, and in Pakistan she didn't have. The problem started, she came here in December, 2010, and 2011, in January, that problem starts. And that was the situation when God was telling us go to Ohio, where we know anybody. You see the situation, sometimes God puts you. We didn't know anybody, and God is telling us in that situation, go to Him. It was not easy. That's why I was making excuses. And at one point, I was going to a church. First time, there was a conference for 3 days, and I went, and on the way, God was again telling me, go to Columbus, Ohio. It was a constant voice. And I said, God, I know I'm acting like Jonah. I knew that, God's people know what they're doing. When you say no to God, you know it, right? And I said, God, I'm acting like Jonah, I know. But I am looking with my natural eyes and senses that I don't have anything there. Here I have all the support and helping hands. And if the pastor in this conference I'm going today first time speak about Germany, I will stop saying no to you. In my mind, I was thinking it's not going to happen. And I will have another excuse. God didn't speak to me. I went there, the pastor came after worship, starts preaching on Germany. I had no excuse anymore. Then me and my wife, we had 40 days fasting and prayers before we moved here. So we came here with my wife in a tough situation. Sick. And we have been praying for having children. That time, like back in 2013, we were married about 9-10 years old. 9-10 years marriage and having children. And the doctors, we came here a couple of times, we had to have ambulance to take her to the hospital. Look at the test sometime back for children. And the doctor said, if we don't do it, this bleeding is never going to stop. And she ended up dying. And that kind of the situation was like that. And I was saying, yes, doctors, you can be moved. Because I loved my wife and I wanted her life first. And she told me no. She said, I'm going to stand on my faith and asking God, take my life and give me the miracle. One of them. And I was not angry with her. Because I was more, looking natural situation and thing. And she said, no. We are praying for children. And this is Satan's huge attack on us, on our children, on our generation. If God wants to give us children, He will heal you. Otherwise, He will take you to heaven. That's our decision. Making it short, she said no to doctors. Then I had to agree with her. And we came back home from the hospital. God told her, read the miracle about the lady. She had 12 years baby. And she knew that story, she had that so many times. She said, God, I knew that. God said, read it again. Sometimes we think we know, but God wants to use the same word and speak in a different way. She started reading, and she felt in the spirit that God took her spirit and allowed her to feel that she is in that situation of that 12 years, woman's problem. She did it. And God asked her that question, are you weaker or stronger than her? She had 12 years and you have about 5 months now. If I can heal her, I can heal you. So God spoke to her. And she prayed. And next day she had a lot of pain in her back. I hold her and helped her. And over there, huge fiber came out of our little baby. And next day we went to the doctor and told the situation. They said, it's unbelievable. Because there were fiber that was doing all these things. And they told us they have to remove that thing, the hole, and you will never have children. So doctors, they said, let us take all the tests again. They took and praised God, there was nothing. And again we have been praying for children. 15 years gone, 16 years gone, 18 years. And now she's pregnant 5 months. God answers your prayers. It can take a long time, right? She and me, we always talk that when God spoke to Abraham that I will give you children, and it took 25 years. The time God spoke to him and full-time preaching. It took 18 years for us to get first degree. This is how we came to Ohio, and it's a long story later. So many things happened, and now God is using us from Ohio, taking around the world for preaching, teaching, and to train leaders and believers how to share the gospel, especially, and how to reach nations. I have spoken a couple of times in different Bible colleges, also in the Word Harvest Bible College, giving teachings on missions, evangelism, and reaching Muslims. So our main calling God has given to us in our life. As Pastor told you, we both born in Pakistan. We grew up there, we married there, we studied there.